Get ready, guys. Today's guests usher in a whole series of incredible World of Dance guests this summer.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews.
I got the moves.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movie.
You gotta move.
All right, you guys, welcome on into The Point with Kristyn, Burtt, and I am so excited by today's guests because they really are the start of a whole series of amazing guests that NBC is giving us, and we so appreciate this. And I did request you guys. You were at like the top of my list. We've got BDash and Konkrete here. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hey,
So happy to have you here.
Yes.
I know. No, seriously, I had like a whole list, and they were like, "This is who's available," and I was like, "BDash and Konkrete, one." So, and they were like, "Yes, we got that." So, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show today.
Awesome.
So much to talk about, and I know the fans had topics ready for me as well. So, I love to just sort of like dive right into it. And I want to ask you guys, because I've never asked anyone this question before. How do you guys get your names? Like, how do you get BDash? How do you get Konkrete?
Well, I got BDash from I was under Tie Dyes at the time, and he had another name called Young Truth, and I was Baby Truth, and then he was like, you need to step a notch up, and then he was like BDash. He thought of BDash out of nowhere, BDash Truth, and then the Truth found was no more.
Yep.
Then I kept.
You just kept BDash.
Yeah.
I love that. How about for you? How'd you get Konkrete?
Oh man. My first name, this is crazy. It was called.
I'm so glad I asked this then.
That's funny, man. My first name was Element, and I was like, it's not like hard. It's not crump enough for me. So
It didn't feel like you.
Yeah. So, like one day it was by myself too. I was walking down the street and I had on what's crazy. I was listening to tracks by Tie Dyes, and he's a creator of crump. So I'm listening to these tracks, and then I was like, Konkrete. I just said it, and I was like, you know what? That will be good. And then I gave it a meaning. So, and the meaning means solid foundation, and crump is my foundation, and there it is.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a really good one. And I want to explain, because we've got viewers who follow all different styles of dance. And I think crumping sometimes confuses people, because there's this whole big umbrella of what hip hop is. And a lot of it's morphed, and a lot of it's like a hybrid now. But how would you guys explain crumping to someone that maybe doesn't know exactly what it is in 2018?
Oh man.
Well,
Or your specific style too, but
Yeah,
of course.
I feel like crumping now it developed not into hip hop. I feel like it's more of an open and expression in your emotion, because you could do so many different dance styles within crump, but it's the way of how you do it. It's like it's your attack. It's the energy and the technique of knowing the basics, and you could even put contemporary ballet moves in it. You could put jazz moves in it. You could put everything. So that's why we don't consider it hip hop.
Great, good to know.
Because like when it comes to the dance, so it's like, because you could do whatever inside the style, but it's just having the foundation first, so you can understand it. So you could do anything. There's no like limits in it.
Yeah, you can just make it crump, man. It's just expression. It's like a lot of times when I talk to Eyes or Miho, they would use the word expression a lot, and then I recently heard Tie Dyes, he said it's you. Crump is like it's you. It brings
Coming
out
from your soul.
Yeah, exactly. It brings out your real self. Every dance that gets live or that's at their peak, they already start crumping. But that is the style, it's like it's just you, an expression.
So the crump community does not consider it a part of that general hip hop umbrella that it goes. It's kind of its own its own form of dance. I think this is super important for people to know and understand too. So as a crumper, obviously you want to train in the foundations of it, but are you also cross training in other styles as well?
Yes.
There's a big head nod from both of you. Okay, so how do you train in crump, first of all? I know there's crump camp. I saw there's a crump camp this weekend.
Yes.
I was like,
There's
which
multiple
which
crump
sounds
camps.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to go.
Yeah.
But so how would someone, if they wanted to like take a crump class, like where would they find it? Where would they go? At least here in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah. we got the Beast camps. Beast camp is like the raw. Shout out to Beast.
I love Willoughby so much.
Yeah, no, this is baby tight eyes.
Baby tight.
Yeah, but he goes his foundation name is Beast. He goes by Beast. Yeah, when you see Beast, you'll know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have wildebeest and we have Beast.
Yeah. So you have Beast camps. That's where you get they have the studio where it's from 9 until when you want to leave. You see the rawness, you see the beefs, you see they lab. Then you got me and BDash. We teach and movement lifestyle. BDash teaches there sometime, and then but that's where you get like the foundation. Like we teach you the technique of it, so you can get that, and then you could go to Beast Camp and just like work on it. And tight eyes, he has this is the best. Honestly, this is the best thing. It's called SLX, and you basically spend time with him in his home. He takes you out to like dinner. He brings you around the rawest crumpers, like, and that right there is like the ultimate thing crumpers want to do, is be around the people who did the most and created. So
and that's another, it's so important, dance history.
Yeah.
Who came before you? Who are you learning from? Who's mentoring you? And passing that along, because that's where you really understand dance, whatever form it is.
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, and we do privates too. So,
I was gonna say private.
Yeah.
Private lessons, of course.
That's the best way, honestly.
So for you guys, obviously, you're teaching the foundations and everything else and the basics. Where are you guys going off to cross train?
Woo.
Well, first, I for me, it was just choreo in general.
Yeah.
To learn how to pick up, because I feel like that's a different ball game.
Total different muscle, too, that you're using.
Yeah, you got to get used to the muscle memory, and I feel like, so it was whatever class. It was like, I have to learn how to pick up choreo.
Oh, man, we
And
got stuff.
yeah, and the craziest thing about it, my first like learning choreo was actually Philip Shabib, Pac-Man.
Love Philip Shabib.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest. To this day, it's probably the hardest choreo, because physically it's crazy. Like he has to break your arm.
And so much floor work.
Forward
Yes.
and stuff that
Toe
I can't
points
do.
and like
Yeah, IME, especially Philip. They took us, me and B-Dash, in because we were like, we want to do it. What's crazy is I did an hour show with them, and B-Dash came and he was like, I'm doing that.
Exactly.
And we went straight to Pac-Man's house. They had this crazy house in Northridge.
Yep.
And they took us there. Emilio, Seven, Yaya. That's when like,
of course.
and
Moon. It was Moon.
yeah, Moon, and they all just basically helped us catapult, for to do choreo, and that's something you just cannot get past.
See, now that's like dance and choreo boot camp right there.
Oh yeah, them.
Yes.
The IME. Oh man.
Yeah, you'll get better.
Yeah.
Like on top,
Yeah.
you'll get better fast. Because I feel like it's one of the hardest to do, and so it's like, why not do it? Why not get it out the way now instead of like being super easy? Especially when you already know how to dance. It's just because a freestyler already know how to dance. It's just another thing you have to activate with your mind to understand and remember each step. So, because that's the hardest part. Like,
And you're asking your mind and your body to work together on something
Yes.
like that.
And be clean and look like the person next to you.
And have that technique and that style. Because Philip Shabib really has his own technique,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh yeah. The only person that could do his is Milio. Like,
Yeah.
That's the only person I know, man. Because they look like split, like just mirror. And I'm like, well, first off, I'm a little darker, so I'm not gonna look like you. And second, I can't even stretch like that.
And that's Emilio Dosal, and just so everybody knows, a lot of you know him from So You Think season 11, of
he's
course.
on tour
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
We don't know where Philip is.
They're always working.
Yeah.
They really are always working. That's incredible. This is good to know, because I don't think we get to understand like what's happening in the crump world as much.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
where is the visibility missing? Because this is a great representation. I'm so glad they have you guys on World of Dance this year, because I
Yeah.
think it's really important. But where can we push you guys more, honestly, from our side of the dance
Man.
community?
We wanna be pushed like through conventions. Like it's so many things Crump haven't even touched yet, or it has, but it like, I don't want to say faded away, because it went through the underground to develop first. you know.
course.
So now, since they had us, you know, we've been on ABDC with Tight Eyes, and we just needed, and it seems like it's just us. Like that circle of dance of crumpers is me, BDash, Tight Eyes.
Jaja comes in because she did
comes in
season
now.
12 of So You Think.
So we just want to be pushed in every way because now we're starting to get the choreo aspect. The choreo and crump.
Yeah, it's
Well, and legitimately, that was a question that
Yeah.
J-Lo said.
Yeah.
How do you guys choreograph crump? She had a question to you guys right there in the qualifiers round.
well, it's actually easier than what you think.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly we use a lot of the basics like technique. We think simple. We don't think like go like super wild or we think really using the technique. I feel like people are lacking with the eye. What they used to, because I think when people think of crump, they think like it's free and like it's too free
Right.
and wild and monsters, and it's like no, it has technique, it has different styles. Funny thing about it is we got so many different styles.
They only seen one.
You only seen one on the show, so it's like more. You know what I'm saying? More to come. Like after the show, it's still just more to come, and it's good that we were able to be on the show because I feel like we were kind of one of the first ones to hit it hard when it comes to choreo and freestyle with crump. I feel like we played with it at first, but then it's like now it's like no, we need to
Pushing
go
it.
all the way and push it. And I feel like that draws people in because that's what I noticed. I also studied why people like choreo. It's like because they could do it too.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
so it's like let's show people we could do it. I mean, you could do it too. So it's like if we do it in a set, you can learn it. Like we put it to the music, and then boom, let's go. Press play.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so let's do it.
What inspired you both to do World of Dance? Did you watch season 1 carefully, or were you just like, whatever? And then you kind of hear there was a lot of talk amongst the community about season 1, both good and bad stuff. So what inspired you guys to do season 2?
Well, it was like a big craziness, like on who was gonna do it, you know, and it caused a little like mess, but all the mess would like died down. But it was like we didn't know. We didn't
With
know.
the mess over who from the
Yeah.
crumping community was going to do it, or the mess of just dancers in general?
Yeah, it was just like brothers bumping heads. Like,
Okay.
you know. But that's I think it was healthy. It was healthy because everything what I was taught from the person that we were all bumping heads with, like everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, and you actually gotta, when you make your bed, you just gotta lay in it, and then we gotta go from there. So we watched the show, but we were like, I don't know if we want to do another TV show with Crump because how it's portrayed and we get, I'm not gonna sit here and do the pity talk, but Crump gets stepped on, it gets talked about so bad. Like we get and we don't say nothing. We learned that you don't understand. People talk about it because they don't understand it.
Right.
And I had, like, especially being Crumpers, bro, we were so beefy. Like, what did you say? And we can battle right now. But then as I started to, like, be silent, it's like, man, they just don't understand, so we have to approach it different.
Yeah, and I think this really is kind of a thing where we have to sit there and think about this. We can either, because TV always has an agenda. We all know that. You've done plenty of shows for both of you guys. And they have storylines and they play things out. But you can either try and keep on opening that door, or as women always say, we're trying to like break the glass ceiling.
Yes.
Or we can sit back and be silent about it. And I'm glad that you guys made the decision to do the show and it's also like even why I was asking you kind of one-on-one questions, because I want people to understand. I want to understand more because I appreciate it. Jaja has been on my radar for so long. Like I've loved what she's done.
Hey, Jaja been like, her eye was on Crump from when we met her at ABDC, like, and that was our sons were
2011. It was like 7 years ago.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember she came to my garage. This was after the fact. She came to the garage with Philip, and I think it was Milio too.
Yeah.
And I think,
So funny.
and I think that's where she was already interested, but I think that's where it turned for like, no, I need to do this. And when Yaya want to do something,
It's
Her mind is set
Yes.
to it.
Yeah.
Well, he saw her. Philip, I believe, saw her in the Czech Republic and was like, "Come on over and study with me," which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
an amazing story when you think about it.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like, I was fascinated because I like a female crumper to me is interesting. I always like to see women pioneers, like
Yeah,
in their part of the industry and things like that. So. That's what caught my eye in terms of what you guys were all doing, and I just think it's grown from there. But then when you get this big platform, and World of Dance is a really big deal, and it's been slow to go global, and season 1 has just started to hit other countries. But I'm telling you, the season 1 contestants are saying, "Holy cow, it's starting to really hit." So you guys will probably see it like 6 months after
That's
season
good.
2 airs, but it's great, and I think that is one of the best things about what World of Dance has done. Were you guys approached by producers? Because I know a lot of them will kind of like slide into your DMs and be like, "Are you guys interested in maybe auditioning?" Is that kind of the push? And
well, what's funny is Kevin was concrete. Sorry.
No, you good.
Concrete.
It's funny. My name's Kevin, y'all. Don't
he's
even worry.
Kevin. We've got
James.
James right over
Yeah.
here, but
So regular name.
Yeah, super regular. But what's funny, Concrete was about to do it by himself, and I was about to do it by myself.
oh,
And but it's a longer story, but I'm just going to make that story
Sure.
short. So I was like, I think I called him, about to tell him, but he was like, "Bro, we should just do it together." I was like, "That's what I was calling you for." So, and that's how that happened, because another casting director was hitting me up, and which was hitting them up on the other side. So it was then from there, because I wanted to do it with a team, but that didn't work out. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it by myself. And I was telling them, she was like, "Yeah, I think you're strong enough to do it by yourself." But and then I was like, Kevin was like, "Yo, I'm about to do it by myself."
Yeah.
And then right there, I was like, duh.
Let's do this.
Yeah, like we came here together. We like Zach, like when we came to North Hollywood, I was staying with Kevin in that situation, and then it was like, and then that's how everything started with the whole choreo aspect with Crump.
Yeah.
Like in this, so it was.
And I was supposed to do it with Tight Eyes, but it didn't happen. It was like, miscommunication. He was in Vegas, and then I was in Sacramento at the time. So it was a lot of miscommunication, and it was just like the schedules. So
wasn't lining up.
yeah, it was like, all right, well, we need somebody who's been in the midst of Crump, at least around like Tight Eyes and Mijos and I keep saying Tight Eyes and Mijos because they're creators who are still doing it.
That's right.
Tight Eyes he has his program. Mijo's on tour with Beyonce, and it's like
No big deal.
Yeah.
No big
But it's like,
deal.
we got like Miss Prissy, she's creating something right now. I'm not gonna say it, but she's creating something really, really big. But these are people that we've seen on the screen now that we're around. So we were like, if they can't do it, we can't let nobody else do it.
Right. Someone
We have
needs to
get somebody-
represent.
Yeah, that was around the source, and at least I can say at least we did it. But what we want to do is let people know, that there's it's way bigger movement. So we're opening doors. We are actually inspiring other crumpers to do choreo now, and honestly, that's how you get
And think
jobs.
bigger. I mean, you know what? Everyone
Yeah.
needs to, and I think that this has been a really great thing. Nappy Tabs and Mandy Moore's all like pushing dancers, choreographers, moving into producing, moving into creative directors. These are the doors that are open. Why aren't the crumpers should be walking in with everyone else too? And I think that that's really important.
Yes, definitely.
And I will say to you guys that I had sources while there was taping, and your names came up a lot. Like people were really liking what they saw. So that was. I think I put a tweet out there. I was like, "You guys, I heard really good things about this." And it wasn't like super specific because people have to be. We have to try and keep the lid on like how the season played out. But I think that that's great that within the community, people were whispering great things about what you guys were doing on World of
good.
Dance.
That's a good thing.
So you should feel really good about that. And I think when it comes to like preparing for something like World of Dance, that you're being judged by J-Lo and Neo and Derek, and they all have very different opinions. I find them to be very individual and unique judges, not like, oh, we're just all going to give like, you know, an 80 today. How did you go about preparing your routine? We're only going to talk about the qualifiers for the qualifiers round.
Oh yeah. It's many. I know BDash, he says something, you know, what we do, we never take away. And if we take away something, that means it's just not needed. But we trust each other's movement. You know, BDash went viral by itself. I went viral by myself. We went viral together. So any moves we do, it's gonna hit. You know, so it'd be times BDash, I'd be like, "What do we need?" He'd be like, "We need a theme." All right, we need a theme. What song matches this theme? Bro, this song. Okay, cool. Now we need some moves.
Were you able to get music clearance right off the bat?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's really hard.
Yeah. So
good thing.
Man, the music, we were like, oh no, I don't know about the music though. But that's one thing about World of Dance. They're so lenient on music. I was like, when I saw Busta Rhymes on there, I was like, what?
Busta Rhymes make it,
like, what? But you know.
Yeah, some shows that your number or your music can get changed up to last minute, and that happens a lot on both Dancing with the Stars and So You Think, and they're live shows too. So you're running up against, you know, that's not easy. You guys know it.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about the hat? Because I was going to bring a hat. I meant to, because I was like, that's kind of amazing, and I was literally like, how do you train for something like that? Because that's a lot. It's a lot of sleight of hand, isn't it?
Oh, you talking about the swirl?
The baseball cap is amazing.
Yeah. Practice. That's the first thing, because you don't know how to do nothing until you practice it.
Right.
So, but I had a friend. His name was Mad Hatter, by the way.
Oh,
and
insane.
Probably one of the best dancers in crump
Does he
of all
have
times.
videos on YouTube that we can watch?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm just letting everyone know.
Yeah, like crazy ideas. But he taught me the spin. Like at first you got to get it like this, and then eventually you just turn it upside down. It's like a hula hoop. Like once you know it, you just got to understand. But it's harder.
It's harder than hula hoop, right?
It's harder, but it's the same vibe. It's
Okay.
like you got to understand the rotation of. Yeah.
Do you sit there and watch TV and try to mindlessly like do it, or do you have to really concentrate on?
No, now, yeah, I could just be sitting and talking to you and just be like, hey, what's going on? Like, yeah. So
I couldn't do it.
You can't do it.
Oh no,
this one?
Weren't we supposed to both do it?
this one?
Yeah.
No, because I was like, it'd be better if you highlight it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So when you guys get there and walk out that huge tunnel, what is that like? I always find that tunnel seems really intimidating and exciting at the same time, because it's a beautiful set.
It's
The tunnel.
No, it's your adrenaline is so high, and Crump is already energized. So you imagine what we were feeling. So we were like, bro, we gotta go out there. We were hopping, like we were like, come on, we need to level it down.
Yeah, you almost have to take your adrenaline down a bit,
yeah.
because it's easy to sometimes your adrenaline makes you
Yes,
messy, and you guys
yes.
want it to
Yeah.
be clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
happy.
whole nother ball game. by the way.
Right.
That's a
Yo, and then, but I'm happy they like talked to us when we got on, like talked to us for a little bit, because if you just get on stage and go and set up and go, your adrenaline is gonna just kick in. So they like calmed us down by like talking to us, asking
Good.
questions.
Yeah, I would have to take like a couple of really deep breaths.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be like,
Yeah.
I can do this. So afterwards, did you guys know did you really feel like you had nailed your routine? Because I knew that the judges, like through that, the reactions were great.
Yeah. How many times did we run it on rehearsal, bro? I don't.
Well, because we can talk about this because it's qualifier rounds, but you have dry blocks, then
Yep.
you have camera rehearsal, and I feel like that's where you need to do it your best. Like, don't play around. Like, if you want to compete on the show, always take the dry block and camera blocks really serious.
Don't mark it.
Yeah.
Do not
Don't
mark
mark
it, never, so you could get used to the stage. But then when the audience come and it's like, "Woo, oh my
Yeah.
God," but you still have to remember, contain like what you going to do. I mean, like, I'm sorry, I feel like I said that wrong, but what you're gonna do. To stay focused on that, but still use the energy, because you're gonna get nervous. I feel like everything you do,
Yeah.
Like
Totally
before this
understand.
interview, like you
Yeah, I
get a
was
little
like,
nervous and you be like,
I'm super scary.
but yeah, but you just gotta know how to control it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and the control is, I think, really important. Do the judges watch any of the dry block? Do you know? Did you see them running through?
You know what?
Nope.
They
I
could
don't-
on monitors, but
Honestly, that's why you got to do it hard because you don't know
Yeah.
if they're back there judging it already. So we're like, bro, let's just go in right now while
Yeah.
nobody's here, and we just got the, you know.
were you disoriented at all? I've had some of the contestants talk about the LED stage sometimes is a little disorienting.
Oh,
The
it's
theater
crazy.
in the round with all the lights, especially for all the tricksters, you know, the ones that have to sit there like
Yeah.
Trey from the lab, like doing his 540. I'm like, how does he
Yeah.
do that? I don't
Yo,
know
he's
without,
amazing.
he's
Yeah.
amazing.
Insane. Oh man, like looking at the floors, like some people were like, man, when I did my flip, the floor shifted, and I was like, so,
Because it's the lights. A lot of people may not know this. It was not an LED floor the first season.
Yeah.
They added the LED floor this year, and I think Eva Igo, when I was talking with her a couple weeks ago, she said that it's now in squares. So for a lot of the contemporary
Oh, yeah,
dancers, they're
yeah.
cutting up. They had to wear like tape and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you'd get caught in between like the little splits in the
see?
because the LED is a series of blocks. It's not just a smooth stage. now.
yeah, it's like the little square, little blocks.
Yeah,
and,
like little tiles. I guess
yeah,
that's
the tile
the word.
things, yeah.
So, but you guys were generally okay with the stage?
Yeah, we were good. We didn't get on the floor that much. So, and if we did, I think I did a baseball slide. That was cool, and
Yeah, in the start off.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
Right,
we were
yeah,
just
yeah,
showing it
yeah.
up there.
So-
Start off.
yeah. So that was crazy.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah.
How many times have you guys watched this after the fact?
It's on my. I'm sorry. It's on my IG probably like 20 times.
Yeah,
So you better go
it's-
check it out.
It's so dope, man.
It's a really good routine, and it was
Yeah.
just a really great, I think, entry to like we're here, we're in the qualifier round, we're ready.
Yes,
And I
yes.
think that's the really important thing. And the judges agreed with
Yeah.
that, and I think that was really important because we've seen a variety of scores, some of them really high, and you guys were one of the higher scores too that we've seen so far
Yeah.
in the qualifier round. We're still not done. We've got weeks left of qualifier
Oh my
rounds, guys.
gosh.
But
Wow.
94.3 was your initial score
Yeah.
for that round. How did you feel about that when you heard that number? I would throw up. I got to be honest, like nerves.
It was. I was just like, whoa. I didn't like. I really didn't expect it because I really felt like the routine was like, hey, we're here. That's like, but I feel like it was the energy, because I feel like when you're on the stage, you could have a lot of amazing and dope things, but you still have to bring the feeling, the energy, so the judges can feel it, rather than like, all right, that looks cool, but
I didn't feel it.
but I didn't feel it.
If there's no emotion, a bunch of tricks is just a bunch of tricks.
Yeah. So I feel like we
Exactly.
brought emotion, and the crowd helped us a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it felt way different from run through.
Yeah.
It felt, oh my God.
Oh.
It's like I said, it's a whole nother story. And when we got the score, I was just like,
Yeah, it
whoa.
didn't hit me till we got back to the
hotel.
the hotel. We were like,
What?
what was the score again? And we were like,
You're like 94.3.
yeah, it was crazy, man. Like that was right there. And then I forgot who said these keywords, man. I believe it was J-Lo. She said, "You guys make people want to learn it." Like, and I was like, me and BDash looked at each other like, "That's it. That's all we needed." Now,
It's a really good compliment
You
too.
know,
And I
yeah.
think J-Lo, J-Lo I find to be, as a judge, when she likes something, she's grabbing onto it. When she's hesitant, she backs away from it quickly, which I
Yeah.
find is really interesting with her. And she knows she's been out there working as a dancer. Obviously, she's like a quadruple threat now, but so I always listen to her what she has to say too, because again, she's an executive producer too, so she, is looking for something
Yeah.
and what the overall look of the show is, and so that's important too.
yeah, they're great judges. I like them, all three of them as judges, like for many things.
It's one
honestly.
of the most balanced panels I
Yes.
think that we see, and I appreciate that oftentimes Neo can be the more difficult judge,
Yeah.
but he has his reasons, and he's like, here's why it didn't work for me.
And it makes sense. You'd be like, oh, you know what?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like out of left field.
Yeah.
Like it's based off of something.
Yeah.
Even though if I'm like, I don't agree with that, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, okay, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I think that was the uproar, right, for season 1. people were going at the judges, but I'm like, you gotta understand something that they've never probably crumped in their lives, but they're not judging our crump. They're judging our performance. That's what you have to understand. Like they're not judging just the dance itself. It's like, how did we creatively come up with all of these steps in this amount of time? And that's what people need to understand too, is like, stop going so hard on them. Like, they don't know every dance style, but they're great judging what you're doing at that moment and at that time. So
they're performers.
Yeah, they're performers. And you on that stage, you're performing, you're competing. You can have a really good dope set, but if it's not a competing level, I totally understand, because everybody on the show was good. Everybody on the show was good, but it's is it a complete competition dance? Like,
does it hit all 5 categories?
Yeah.
I think, and that's another thing when I've talked about judging too. I'm like, finally a show that's looking at choreography, creativity, performance. Like, they're looking at the full package, because sometimes, like, maybe routine needs some stronger choreo, but the performance level was there, and that sort of balances it all out. So I think that's really important.
Definitely.
So once you get off of that like high of like, holy cow, we did really well, how did you guys go back to the studio to make sure that you were ready for the duels? What was that rehearsal process like? And I know that this year, so you guys know, things weren't taped back to back. You guys had a little bit of time to breathe and like wrap your brain around it.
Yeah. We got straight to it. Like, we were like, okay, how are we gonna make this one better than the first one? That's all. And we just, kept it simple. And we just got straight to it, man. That right there was like, we really went hard, and like, we took our crump mentality now. Like, we were like, all right, now let's be crumpers, This
is when the beast comes out.
Yeah, this is when Konkrete and BDash from the streets came out.
That's good though.
Character, a lot of character.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, because they also, the judges need to see different levels. It's not just like, hey, we're going to do a different version of what we did in qualifiers, just a little tweaked.
Yeah.
You gotta make changes. Like, you in a competition, I feel like you should do something different each time, and wow the judges each time. So that was, and my main mentality was, how can I make this show better?
Nice.
So it's like, I like this.
No, so it's like,
you think bigger.
I'm thinking bigger. So I'm like, all right, $1 million is great, first of all. But I'm like, how can I?
We would all love $1 million.
Yes, we would all love $1 million.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, like now.
But think about every. So you think dancer, the ones that didn't win, but that's actually bigger than the ones that did win. It's they were remembered the most, and I feel like sometimes the loss is the biggest win, because it makes you go harder. I feel like the L is a lesson. It's not losing. It's just
a lesson.
You take it and you go and you work harder. You work harder, because sometimes when you win, you get comfortable and you're like, oh, I'm good.
Rest on your laurels.
You rest.
Definitely.
Yes. So, and then like, so that's the mentality we were having. I was like, how can we make the show better? Which means, how could we be one of the most remembered of this show this season? So
yeah, let it be the motivator. I think that's really important. And the so you think analogy is great, because you do look at sometimes I look at people, I'm like, they were top 11 or whatever, and they're out there working nonstop because they understood that they had this great platform, and you run with it. Run with it, and that's exactly what's important for you guys this season. Just running with it.
Yeah. Yep.
Since you mentioned So You Think, and I know where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say the battle of season 14. There's you and Jenna, and then there's Kiki with Jenna. So side by side. This was an epic battle. I have said to fans, and I say this over and over again, we will debate this outcome 10 years from now, honestly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, Jenna made her decision. It is what it is. This is all played out well for all three of you, honestly. And I actually wrote an article about it. Did you know I wrote about this? I was like, things play out the way that they're supposed to. And it's like, it's amazing what less than a year of having that, holy cow, look, this is how it played out.
Yeah.
Everyone had their lane.
Yes.
But how did you feel in that moment with that dance, because I have watched it a million times. It's incredible. And no one would ever know. They wouldn't go, that's a crumper.
Yeah. This one right there, I wanted to let people know, first, I really wanted to just complete it, first off. But that moment right there, I wanted to let Jenna know that we can win the show.
That's right.
Like, I don't care about who was here before. I don't care who's coming next. But right now, just by this performance, we're gonna win the whole thing, and that was my attitude. I really wanted to show my emotion, the style, the support.
There was a lot of heat too. You guys had great chemistry.
Yeah. This one right here, and I wanted to let her know like our chemistry is high, and she choreographed this. So this was like
great choreographer.
She knew what to do with it, and then that right there, and then all the stuff that happened in previously that led up to that, like me, picking up choreo kind of slow. I was like, all right, that's it. Now I'm here, and once I'm here, it's over. I'm not letting it go. Like that's my mentality. Once I'm there, like almost there, I really just, I don't know, it takes me somewhere else.
Yeah.
And
in the zone, for sure.
Yeah. And I felt like a lot of people were doubting me in that show, and getting cut, and then, people said I had the attitude problem. I seen people walk off and say, I can't do this. And I'm still there fighting, but I got labeled as the...
Well, you got part of a TV storyline.
Yeah.
You understand that, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So I'm like, he walked off, she walked off. I'm still here fighting. Why am I getting...
It's the TV. You got the TV edit because
yeah.
it became a storyline, and then it became the big dramatic peak to the storyline. But we also have to remember, and the storyline also with Kiki, I will say Kiki had a really rough hip-hop round.
Yeah.
So now you're battling two people, and it's... The storyline played out kind of like the way the show wanted it to in some ways.
Definitely. And I got really upset. I'm not gonna lie. I was upset. I don't think I was upset at Jenna though, for some reason. I wasn't upset. I was just like, what happened? Like,
well, because you did so well. And Kiki's routine was great too. And I think it's just like, in her brain, and I think she's explained this well, she just knew who she could mentor through the season. And she obviously understood Kiki's language of ballroom.
Yeah, definitely.
But the fans, I mean, you've seen the support from the fans too, where they understand your side too.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they said, man, you grew like rapidly, and like I've done choreo before, like I still do it. So I was really ready to let people know that I'm not just a crumper. But that's kind of our fault sometimes. If you label yourself as a certain dancer, everything, even when I teach a class, I'll be like, I'll do a blade, and then people will be like, all because I'm a crumper. And I'm like, no, that's a blade.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I know how to dance. I know how to groove, Even in my ballroom routine, I was still dancing. I didn't stop. I had to still like perform. I didn't, so that right there. But this was a big moment for me, a big dramatic change for me right here.
Well, and and I think this is what is important, the recovery from this, because obviously there is disappointment. You're this close to making the show.
Yeah.
It's how you turn this around. And you were just saying that, BDash, in terms of like, it's a disappointment or you didn't win or whatever it is. How did you sort of, because it's also, we do have to wait like a couple months for this to air, so it's coming too.
Definitely.
But how do you pick yourself up and go, okay, great? Because obviously you guys were getting it together by the fall to, make it to World of Dance. So
that what's crazy is right after that, I didn't talk to nobody. I went straight home. I said, I didn't talk. I moved all my stuff. I moved out of my apartment. And I went home to Sacramento, and I just spent like 1 year with my son. I never got to spend a month with my son before because all the work.
Yes.
And I will go back every now and then to check on him, but I'll pay for like some of the school out while I'm here, for him to go to school. But I said, you know what, I'm going home. And I needed to go home and be with my son for a minute because I feel like it wasn't fair to him. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go home and be with him for a year. You know, and I got a regular job. I'm sitting at my bro from high school. He was like, man, I know you don't. I went to the mall to buy a few hats.
Yeah.
And he worked at Lids, New Era.
Okay.
And he said, I know you dance, bro, but I got you a job if you need it. I'm just saying, bro. And I'm like, all right, man. And I got me a nice little relaxing job. Got my mind back together at home for about 8 months.
Wow.
And then all this stuff about World of Dance started happening. And then that's when me and BDash, and then I had to move back to LA.
Yes.
So
how does that change you? I mean, because that's a game, it's a life changer. And but at the same time, there's a sweetness of being able to spend time, because you're both dads, of being able to spend time with your kid. It's really incredible. Yeah,
that right there, it was needed though.
Yeah.
It was needed. And I needed to do it. So, and that right there, it discouraged me though, like after this, because I said I did all I could do. Like, I honestly felt like I did all I could do, man.
I hope you know that from our side and the fan side, we know that.
Yeah.
And you know, you just have to go out there and do what you're doing, because you guys are doing incredible work on World of Dance. So I hope you know that you feel the support from the fans too, because I think we all felt that it was crushing at the same time. And she, you know, she had two people. You guys both did great. And she just, you know, it's Sophie's choice, honestly. It's like a horrible decision to have to make.
Yeah.
If one of you had not done as well, right? If you hadn't delivered, or Kiki hadn't delivered, she would have been like, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I took that hard. I felt like I was a poor sport, but I was like, it was needed. It was needed because I had to go home.
No, it's called being human, don't you think?
Yeah, that's true.
I think so. I mean, for both of you, because since you're both dads, I'd love to hear this, because we always hear about like moms in dance and like, what is it like being like a dad, and how does it change? How does it change you as an artist?
Oh man, go ahead and read it.
For me, a lot of sacrificing, like not seeing him, making sure for a long time actually, because being a dancer is not easy. It's one of the hardest. I feel like entrepreneur.
Hustle all the time,
and especially that's why I love social media now, because I feel like as a dancer we're becoming artists rather than backup dancers and stuff like that. Whole nother story, but that's what I'm creating, and why you're creating that, you can't just stay there with your son the whole time, because I have to take care of him. Same thing with Kevin. Like, we have to take care of them. So it's like we have to make sacrifices of not seeing them. And it's hard, because it's like I want to make sure that he grows up understanding like the way how I am as a person, and so he could learn from my traits, and nobody else's. So, but now I feel like now the point in time in this part of my life, I'm seeing my son like way more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's starting to pay off, all the stuff that we are doing. So that's why I'm like, it makes you keep going. But I feel like if you feel the way, like never seeing them, I feel like you'll give up. But when you start seeing results, you be like, this is why I'm doing it, and this is what I'm doing it for. So it's actually great, because it puts that fire under you to never relax. Yeah. So it's like, I always tell people, like, if you want to do something, put some fire under you. Like, like make something to where like you have to do something to get out of your position. So that's all it is.
It's motivating.
It's motivating. It's inspiring. You gotta get up and do what you gotta do, because later on, we're still young. So later on, it's like, hey, we got here for a reason, and I hope you understand, and break everything down to like, this is why I was doing this and doing that.
I want to give you the best.
Yeah. And they're gonna see it, you know, and that's why social media is so dope, because now when he grows up, I can just show him my Instagram, I can show him YouTube videos, like, you know, there was a time where I won a show, but it didn't air, and my son was there, and I got the footage. But it's still gonna let them know that it, you know, I still wanted to have them there. Yeah. You know, but everything we're doing is for our kids, though. Man.
That's everything. So sweet. I love that. No, it's good. It's good to hear the dad perspective of it. You know, I think we just hear the mom perspective all the time. What show didn't air? By the way,
it was called what was it?
Beyond Dance.
Beyond Dance.
Beyond Dance.
Yeah. by producers Rich and Tone.
Oh, I love Rich and Tone.
You know what? Honestly, that's the closest to Michael Jackson you're ever gonna get. I'm serious. Whoever danced with Michael.
I'm going to say this to the TV Academy voters that did not give them an Emmy nomination last year for the Get Down.
Hey, crazy. And the show that didn't air, this show, hands down, was going to change the dance world. Like, it didn't, I couldn't freestyle because I needed more. Like, I couldn't just be like, oh, you know, I was like, no, I need a prop. I need like a surrounding. It changed how now I think like Rich and Tone. Like, if I do a freestyle video, how I'm gonna get from this chair and choreograph me turning on the TV or something.
Wow.
And it's like, it messed me up and built me up at the same
That's so
time.
good though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
so-
big growing experience.
Yeah.
BDash, I have to ask because this was also a big fan
yeah.
question. Yes. You and
Yes.
Jaja and this amazing puppeteer, puppet master routine. And personally, I've probably watched it more than 10 times. So
I got it downloaded.
I love it so
Yeah.
much. How did this come about?
Well, Jaja see me dance. It was the Bay Area, and I did the It performance, and that was my first viral, like by myself, like viral video. And she was like, "Yo, that performance is dope. I think we should do it again." But she was talking about doing it in November 25th when we did Boston World of Dance.
And this is the World of Dance competition circuit, you guys, versus the TV show, just so you guys know the distinction.
Yeah, front row,
yeah.
World of Dance. So she was like, "We should do that because we got the makeup artist. Her name is Amanda. She's in Boston." And I was like, "You know what? Like that's too late. Like you got to be smart. Like that season not in. Like Halloween is gone. It'll be Thanksgiving." So like that's how I think. Like
You're
that's
like,
how
I'm thinking seasonal here, and she's like, no, this is like a theme dance, thematic,
So I was like, nah, like we should do something else. Then for somehow, some way, we thought of a puppet master, and how it started. We made the music first, and it only took us 2 days to make up everything.
That's
Wow.
Yeah, like people think like, how long did it take? Did it take like months? I'm like, no, it took
I remember that
2
too.
days. 2 days to make up everything, and after that was just cleaning and making sure we had everything on point. But
that went viral really quickly too.
yeah, like fast. I think it hit like 100 million probably like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was that was
Yeah,
fast.
and it's been duplicated a million times on YouTube.
I've seen it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
People are like grabbing it and putting it in their own account.
So and then I was making the music and we was like, dang, this is like my best track. Like this is tight. This is crazy. And I think because it wasn't just the dance. I feel like it was the whole thing about like it was theatrical. It was like, cause when you watch a movie, what makes you bring you in? The music. Because like, oh man, like I love this. Like for example, Dark Knight.
I was listening to the soundtrack.
Because like I mean, you like the sound score and stuff. So you like, man, it makes you more into the movie. So that's how I was thinking with the track. Because imagine if we would just got a random like song. Like I feel like it wouldn't match as much. as with the theme, because it's not too much puppet songs out there.
Right, and you're thinking completely too. I mean, I even loved like the rotating platform, just a small little touch, but it actually made a difference.
I feel like it was not the dancing, it was the stuff around it is what made it bigger. Like the rotator. The first of all, in the paint, the makeup. I feel like that was hands down, all right, I'm watching this right now. So
I love that Jaja has a bow in her hair too. Like that little detail.
Like, the little bow.
Little bow. Like how often is Jaja going to be wearing a bow in her hair in real life? No.
Man.
Yeah, like we thought about it and we did it. And like we was like it's gonna go viral because I was like my it one went viral, but we didn't know it was gonna go. It's funny. Keita the Great. He was like,
oh gosh, you guys, another one who's blowing up.
Yeah, one of the best. He's a kid too. What, he 15?
He's 14,
14, 15?
He's 15. He's 15 now. Yeah.
Right.
Keita, text me. Are you 16?
No, he is not. He's 15. I just saw him. He has a new show coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't. I'm NDA'd on it, but it's coming and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're in the back in Boston. He was like, as soon as he see us, he was like, yep, this is about to be 5 million first day. Yo, he just like, yep. Like that's how kids be talking about. Nope. Yep.
That way.
5 million first day that way.
That
Yep.
way.
He knows.
Yeah.
Because he's like the viral king these days.
Yeah. So yeah, but it did extremely. And what's funny, he hit me up. See, I told you. Like, so it's like stuff like that. It just when other people see it, he's like, "Whoa! I just did something I didn't expect."
Yeah.
You don't know. Like you don't know what's gonna go viral. You just.
But
don't.
I was like, that one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Didn't I say that too?
Yeah,
I was like, oh, no.
everybody.
This is viral.
Yeah, everybody.
you know.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Was
I
saying
even
that.
think from like the first like 4 or 5 counts, you're like, oh man.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're already in. You're like, what's happening? What's underneath that curtain? Okay, great. It's Yaya. Okay, but it's Yaya doll. It's Yaya
doll.
puppet.
Yaya dog.
Yaya doll.
doll.
Yaya puppet.
That's silly.
So yeah, it really is. It's really kind of if you haven't seen the YouTube number, make sure you go and check it out.
I got this on my laptop,
Yeah,
my
it's-
phone.
Yeah, I can tell you.
I think I
clicked on it.
calculated it was like over 200 something million roll like over the whole social media board.
What we got 60 million?
Oh yeah, on that
From
the Christmas thing with Cyrus glitch.
yeah.
Oh, because you guys did the Nutcracker.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and who? What symphony was that with? Do you remember what city?
Harmonic.
Philharmonic.
The
In Pasadena. I know it was in Pasadena.
Okay, so but it was here in Los Angeles.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so if you guys have not seen them do the Nutcracker, it is really incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an incredible piece. I've pulled that up many times
And
too.
that's what made me think about seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, there
that
you go.
performance. Because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's Christmas. Duh. People want to see.
People want to see.
Oh, duh.
but that
yeah.
type of the puppet piece is timeless.
Yeah,
I think
that-
that's what's really
Yeah,
important.
yeah. I feel like and that's what I thought. I was like, no, we could do this any moment,
Any-
anytime. It'll be fine.
Tour.
I would love to say that we have more time, but we are actually out of time. I know, you guys. Give me one quick like one-liner tease about what to look forward to in the duels. On your dance, not like the outcome, please. I do not want NBC to call me.
Y'all
tell you
wanna?
That's your camera. Do it.
Let me tell you something. Character. This is character performance. That's what I would say.
Yeah, we just made it. We made a movie.
Yeah, on stage.
made a
That's
movie on
what's like. Made a movie on stage. So be ready.
I'm ready. We gotta wait till August.
Yeah.
I know, you guys. All right, so do me a favor. Let everyone know where they can find you and follow you online. Twitter, Instagram, all the goods.
Oh man, what? Twitter, Konkrete 510. Instagram, official Konkrete. Facebook, Kevin Konkrete Davis.
I love it.
Yeah.
BDash.
Twitter, BDash, the old found. Then my IG is BDash_2. Because somebody got BDash. That's like 2 followers. Haven't been on it since like February 2015. But
We got issues with that.
and IG helped me. But anyway, and Facebook, James B-Dash Derek, or my fan page, B-Dash.
All right, you guys. I loved having you both here. Thank you so
thank
much
you.
for everything. You
Thank
guys
you
are the
for having
greatest.
us.
And thank you for letting me fangirl, okay? I will be back next week, of course. And we've got as many of them as we can fit in of the Poriotics. Yeah. I'm
Hey.
super excited. Yeah, super excited. And of
Legendary.
course, for all the latest dance news, be sure to check out dancenetwork.tv. And we want to thank Popcorn Talk for hosting us today. See y'all next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
Okay, I'm on